Yo! Whoa! 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 One Piece chapter 916. Hold on. So not only do we see Nami, big, beautiful, busty self on the top of the cover, and joining her on the cover is that cum bucket Nico Robin. And joining her on the cover is that OnlyFans thought Nico Robin. But yo, this chapter right here, holy shit, dude. Oda pulled out all the stops on this one. Like I was thinking that, hey man, like this is gonna be a chapter where it's like a knockdown, drag him out type of fight. Shit. Luffy said, I'm undefeated sumo wrestling. I'm like, wait a second. Is he talking about when he was training with Sabo and he was training with Ace? When the fuck was Luffy ever sumo wrestling? Then you got the text right underneath that. And it was like, oh, he's undefeated against Usopp. I'm like, Usopp? Who the hell's gonna brag about beating Usopp? Like, whatever, right? Man, Oda said, look, Kryptonian, you're just stepping out of pocket just a little bit. You done read all these chapters with me. Over 900 chapters. You've been doing this for 5 years now. Surely, you got more faith in me to give you an exciting battle than this, and sure as hell, Oda did not let me down on this one. So, you know, the chapter starts off, you know, you got Kiku basically putting up her sword, and Urashima is looking at everything, and he's like, you lowborn woman, you're gonna die for this. He's talking all this stuff, you know. Kiku is acting all coy and putting up the feminine act, and I'm like, man, I'm expecting her to just like whip out the sword and just, you know, slice this dude in half, man. Like once she whips it out, that's gonna be it, because that sword is gonna demolish the guy, and that's not the case. That's not the case at all. You know, she's, you know, putting up this huge front. And Luffy steps in, and Luffy, you know, he manages to use his gum sumo slap, and he counters the attack. And I'm like, okay, Luffy's gonna start fighting. I'm thinking this is gonna be a big silly fight. You know, because Luffy's like, hey, we're gonna do some sumo wrestling. I got this. Luffy looks like he's having a grand old time. He's going through, he's dodging the attacks, he's laughing. Everybody's saying you can't win this fight by just going into a defensive manner and dodging attacks. You need to take this more seriously. And then once you get to a situation where Urashima is breaking the rules, that's when Luffy says, okay, I can handle it. You want to play dirty? That's absolutely fine. The whole time they're letting Holdem know that, hey, somebody's challenging Urashima. Things are getting really, really crazy. You might need to go check this out. And that's when Holdem's like, look, I'm more worried about this brat right here. And he starts dropping some knowledge at this point. He says, like, look, you know, you brought up the Kozuki clan. You can't mention that no more, because these ghosts of this city, of this country, they don't exist no more. You need to be real careful how you run in your mouth right now. Don't get your wig split. And what's so crazy is he refers to them as being evil spirits. And as this is going on, you got Law. He's talking to one of his crewmates, and he's telling his crewmate, like, I told you not to eat any of the fish out the water in this lane. How could you be a bumbling idiot right now? You know, Law's a doctor, so I'm sure Law's going to get him patched up. But on the flip side, you got Hawkins. He's rushing to the city. He's like, look, this guy's got a straw hat around his neck. That's the real deal straw hat. Do not engage. And then that's when it's like Luffy says, fuck it. I'll blow the whole damn cover. Luffy, he don't do shit halfway. I will give Luffy this. When he fucks up all the way. You know, sometimes they say just put the tip in and let it marinate for a little bit and then slide it in. No, Luffy says, fuck it, let's go all in with one thrust. Luffy stretches his arm back all the way across the town. And then Luffy goes into a huge sumo slap, and he puts his hand all up in Urashima's face, the same way that Ichigo did the same thing to Aizen, where Aizen's doing all his talking. Ichigo puts his hand on his face and drags this dude clean across the city all the way out into the mountains. Luffy does something similar with a very beautiful page spread by Oda, by the way, and you get this moment where Luffy don't just send him flying. He ends up sending him flying all the way across the town, blowing up buildings in the process, blowing up Holdem's house in the process. And what's so crazy is that, you know, you get this moment where Zoro's recognized and he says, yeah, so what? I sliced up the magistrate. Like, so what? What the fuck are you going to do about it? And you get this really awesome shot where you see how Kiku and you got Zoro and Luffy, they're just kind of standing there. Luffy's like, go get your boss, bring that little motherfucker out. We're going to have us a good ass talk. And you get this moment where the way that they're drawn together is hands down beautiful as fuck. Like, I love that shot right there. That is hands down beautiful as fuck, man. You know, as far as the thumbnails, it might be too late to actually get the guy that did the thumbnail for this, Makai, which shouts out. I think Makai did the thumbnail for this. Shouts out to Makai if it was Makai that did the thumbnail. It might be too late to get him to change that, man. But, you know, the thing is what's so crazy about this is, you know, Zoro's like, hey, look, don't you play coy with me. I know more than enough about you. I know you can handle this right here. And, you know, you can't fool a guy like Zoro. Zoro's seen enough people swing swords that, you know, he knows that when you start crossing swords with somebody like this, hands down, this is somebody that can hold their own in a pissing contest. So what I love in this moment right here is that, you know, Zoro says, like, look, man, Kiku, you got this, all right? Like, I don't need to watch over you the way I need to watch over Nami. No, you know, Oda is writing one hell of a female character right now. Like, I love this. I love this moment right here. This is good. This is really good, man. Like, this is what I hope Nami would have been after the time skip. You know, Nami's been putting in work, but at the same time, you know, Nami still has some situations where she's either used for fan service or she's a bit of a coward. Like, I was hoping after the time skip she would put that work in. And, you know, you see it with Kiku to where when Oda wants to, he can draw characters like that. Even Rebecca regressed to where Rebecca was a hell of a fighter, but then she needed to be bailed out. I'm hoping that's not gonna be the case with Kiku, but what I love here is the fact that, you know, they just start slicing their way and kicking ass left and right. People are going flying, and that's when Holdem looks over and says, like, look, I've had enough of this right here. You've destroyed my home. You're causing hell in my city. You want this girl Tama? You can come get her, but that lion that's on his belly has Tama inside of it. Inside of the mouth. And you have this moment where Luffy's hands are tied, but you can tell Luffy's about to kick some ass. And what's so interesting about this is that, you know, even Law's looking at it and he says, like, holy shit. So Hawkins is at the gate. The situation is spiraling out of control far faster than Law ever expected, and everybody is rushing towards the battlefield. You got Luffy rushing towards Holdem rushing towards Luffy. You got Law, who is looking at the situation, looks like he's left his man. He needs to clean the situation up. But then you also got Hawkins there. And so now it's just like everything is at the point where I had it wrong. It wasn't just Luffy and Zoro pulling up to Kaido's house and doing a burnout on his driveway. Now, they took it a step further. They pulled up to his house with the loud exhaust, and they got the music playing. They did the burnout on his driveway, and then they turned around and did donuts on the street outside the house, and then they parked the car and they're saying, what's up, bitch? Like, this is crazy. This is crazy that Oda is escalating things this fast. So it lets you know that, like, when it comes to writing, Oda has some really big things planned. So my chapter question to you guys, hands down, is when it comes to Kiku, if you had to rank Kiku in terms of female characters in One Piece, where would you rank Kiku? And what are the top 10 best female characters in One Piece so far? Let me know what your top 10 is. Not appearance or anything, just characters. What are your top 10 rankings for characters? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.